Hi. My name is Renato Valdes. I'm the head of design for Honor. I will be talking about Honor throughout my presentation. Let me tell you a little bit more about what I did before Honor. I founded a company called Human, and Human was a super simple fitness tracking app. You could install it on your phone, on iOS and Android, and it would basically measure how much you would walk and cycle and spend time at the gym throughout the day. And it would nudge you to move a little bit more consistently every day. We sold this company to Mapbox in 2016. And in addition to that, I work with Andreessen Horowitz to train and educate and mentor the next generations of design talent coming into technology. Today, I'm here to talk about Honor, specifically how we applied inclusive design at Honor to design for an extremely difficult industry. So what is Honor? We're the fastest growing home care company in the United States. And what we do is we connect older adults with the highest quality caregivers in the industry, whom we employ, so that our parents and grandparents can age in the comfort of their own home. Now, the type of services that we offer are mostly care services that have to do with activities of daily living. So as you age, you lose control over your body, and you lose control over your mind, and there's just a lot of things that you can't do anymore. So we help people with getting them in and out of bed, washing and grooming, grocery shopping, light housekeeping, essentially everything that you can't do anymore as you age. We also offer them specific specialized care, like care for folks suffering from Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or recovering from cancer. We started the company in 2014, and we launched our first homes in 2015. And right now, we're active in California, New Mexico, and Texas. Now, why did we pick such a problem? Because home care is not really something that I necessarily knew a lot about before I went into the company, but it is one of the biggest industries in the world. For the United States alone, this is a $30 billion industry right now, and it's pretty much untouched by design and technology. And when we have a look at the global numbers of why this is important, let's have a look at global population estimates. So as you can see here, from 1950 to 2010, growth was extremely fast. Global population tripled, US population almost doubled. But when you look at 2010 from 2050 projected growth rates for world population, you will see that it's slowing down and it's skewing heavily towards older generations. And it makes sense because families simply don't look the same anymore as they did 50 years ago. Now, what this actually means is that every single day, 10,000 people in the United States turn 65. This is about 65,000 people every day in the world. And this is leading to a situation where 1 in 4 Americans will be taking care of somebody older than them, paid or unpaid, within the next few years. Now, when we look at the people actually delivering professional care in the United States, 56%, the majority of them, are on government assistance. It means that they can't make their ends meet. They can't put enough money on the table for their families. And this is a gigantic issue when you put people who are financially fragile into the homes of people who are fragile in terms of health. You get a lot of problems. And it's a structural problem. It happens with a two-sided marketplace where one side, the supply side of the marketplace, is completely dependent on caregivers that are contract workers, don't have any rights, don't get fair wages. Bad situation. In addition to that, healthcare in general is just really, really difficult. There's so many factors to consider. There's operational constraints, financial constraints, there's legal constraints, there's ethical constraints. And in general, design in healthcare has pretty much been an afterthought, unlike technology, where design has been taking a leading position in the past few decades. Now, for us, it was important to consider that we wanted to deliver the best possible care to our parents and our grandparents. But in order to do that, we really saw that we needed to innovate on the caregiver side as well, and make sure that we don't just design a great experience for people receiving care, but also design amazing careers and jobs and products for the people delivering that care. And at Honor, the way we went about this is we didn't want to like put patches on an already broken system. We wanted to start from scratch and design the ultimate solution. And that's what we started, doing. Because the complexity of this industry really requires new ways to build services and products. So what do we design at Honor? We put our hands on almost everything in the company. So from brand marketing assets, the way you see here, with the brand deliberately designed to stand out as much as possible in a super crowded home care market, to environmental experiences like this partnership that we did with Walmart, where we designed a full retail experience to teach people about what home care actually is and how it can benefit your family, to our newly launched Care Network, where we build and offer products and services to local small home care agencies so they can actually deliver better care to their customers, to our consumer products, where consumers can schedule and manage care. They can check in on the care of their loved ones, see wellness stats, and see a little feedback note after each visit that a caregiver pays them, to our CarePro app, which is one of the most important products that we actually built. Because apart from creating better jobs, we really believe that we could design products that could help caregivers do a better job, like an app that would give a caregiver superpowers. And with this CarePro app, our caregivers can see their daily schedule, they can connect with new clients, they know which tasks they need to fulfill throughout the day, and they can leave a note that the family sees after each visit. So our care professionals are absolutely amazing. We love them. They're the most unique part of our company. And they are unique because ultimately our customers, our older customers, they don't care about our fancy brand. They don't care about our sophisticated technology or our apps. They care about the quality of the person that comes into the home every day in order to take care of them. And to me, the profession of caregiver is one of the most respectful positions in the world. So we wanted to design an app for them that was amazing to use every day, that they really enjoyed using. But like I said before, it's like this guy didn't really know about home care before he went into this game. And thankfully, we've been able to assemble one of the best design teams in healthcare in order to tackle these problems. And the way we went about that was by saying that just coming up with mere empathy, it's not enough. We needed to truly acknowledge our own privilege and understand that the lives that we've led as designers are completely different from the lives that the people that we designed for have lived. Like, our caregivers come from a completely different background as we do, and we are at a completely different life stage as the people that we actually deliver care to. So we needed to do much, much more than the general things that people at startups do in order to build good products. And the thing that we did specifically was pretty radical. So early on in the company, one of the things we said was, right, the entire company needs to know what it is like to become a caregiver. So we signed up to become voluntary caregivers. We worked with local caregiving organizations and assisted living facilities, and everybody participated in this process. From designers to engineers to founders to other folks in leadership, everybody ran caregiving shifts with older adults in order to truly understand the context and nuance that is required to know what it is like to be a caregiver, to stand in their shoes. You know, how much time do I have until my next shift? When is it appropriate for me to take out my phone and make a couple of notes or check off my tasks? When should I be spending the most time interacting with my client? All of these things are things that you can't find out when you're working from lush tech offices sitting behind your computer. And this whole process really humbled us. It truly is proved to us that we are doing completely different work and we need to do more in order to understand what our users are like. A side effect of this, however, is that as a startup, we've been able to go to market extremely fast. Because of this process, we've been able to make extremely well-informed assumptions early on, which lowered our necessity to do usability testing, for example. And we were able to go to market with making relatively few startup errors. Now, as Sophie already said, we nicknamed this way of design method design. It's a nod to the movie industry where actors actually try to become the role that they want to portray. And in this case, we became the users that we are designing for. But the point is that you really do everything in your power to understand who you actually are designing for. It's like mere observation or shadowing or diving into research is not enough in this case. And the techniques, they really require you to become uncomfortable. They require you to become confronted with things you might not necessarily want to be confronted at as a designer or as an engineer. But to close things off, I just want to say that inclusive design in general, there's no perfect monolithical approach to this. Like every single company, if they're interested in doing design right, they will do it in their own way. But there's a couple of things that you can do as a company to make sure that design and inclusive design is actually successful. The first one is design needs executive representation. If you're head of design or as a designer, if that person is not sitting at the highest ranks of the company or has access to the highest ranks of the company, design will never be successful at your company. Because the whole point of this is that you remove as much red lines as possible so designers can focus on bringing good design to the entirety of the company rather than just pushing pixels and pushing wireframes. In addition to this, design needs to run, so designers themselves needs to run a super transparent and inclusive process. This means that they show people at the company how they actually design. They include them into the process. They bring in stakeholders into each iteration and make sure that they teach their skills to others so they can improve the process overall. And finally, everybody ultimately contributes to the success of design. Understanding that everybody contributes to good design, if you are collectively, as a company, as a group, working towards solving a problem, coming to a solution, you are a designer and you are contributing to the process. And with this, to thank you. Available for questions later as well.